Hi, I'm Chef Jen from KetoCookingWins.com. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make Greek meatballs. These meatballs are not your typical meatball. There's no red sauce in sight. These are not pork or beef meatballs. These are made with ground chicken and they're loaded with flavor. We've got in here spinach, feta, red bell pepper, shallots, garlic, herbs and spices, and they are so good. They're so moist and so tender, and they're unbelievably easy to make. So stay tuned as I show you how to make Greek meatballs. So let's get started making these Greek meatballs. They're totally different from anything you've probably tried before. There's no red sauce in sight, just these wonderful, moist, flavor-packed meatballs that are just spectacular. I like eating them with tzatziki on the side, but you can eat them however you like, plain or with tzatziki, or maybe some Greek vinaigrette for dipping. That'd be tasty too. This recipe is pretty straightforward. Once you have all of your ingredients ready to go, it's just a matter of dumping it all in and mixing it up and forming your meatballs. We are starting with 2 pounds of lean ground chicken. To that, I'm going to add about 1 cup of squeezed and cooked spinach. I'm just going to break it up a little bit. I use frozen spinach for this. If you use fresh spinach, that's fine too, but you do have to cook it and squeeze it to get the water out of it first. Don't just add plain raw spinach to this without cooking it first, or your meatballs are going to be just way too bulky and they won't form properly. They're going to fall apart. So trust me on this. Start with frozen, squeezed, drained spinach, or saute your spinach first in a pan, cool it, and then squeeze it, chop it, and add it to this. But frozen is just fine too. I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of shallots. Shallots are a lovely addition to this dish. They give a slight oniony flavor without really overpowering it. And 1/4 cup doesn't really have many carbs in it. Just like that. I'm going to add 1 cup of feta that I've crumbled up. And there it goes. I'm going to add 1/4 cup of red bell pepper. Adds lovely color to our meatballs. We're going to add some fat and some moisture with about 1/4 cup of Greek yogurt. You can use the full fat variety, low fat, whatever you've got. That's fine. 1 egg. In you go. All right, now for the seasoning, we are going to add about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. The ground chicken doesn't really have any seasoning to it, so we need to give it lots of flavor. Ground chicken is a blank canvas, and we are going to load some flavor into this. I've got 1 tablespoon of lemon zest. Adds a lovely little bit of lemony flavor. I have got 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of oregano, and when I put my herbs in, I just like to give them a little bit of a crush, just to help bring that flavor out a bit. And 1 teaspoon of dried thyme, which I'm also crushing as I put in. That is it. Now we're going to get in here and get it all mixed up. Use your hands. Take off your rings, take off your bracelets, take off your wristwatch, whatever you've got. Make sure your hands are super, super clean, which mine are. Get in there and get it all mixed up. It's not pleasant. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's kind of gross. Don't think about it too much. Just focus on how delicious these meatballs are going to be when you're done. You can use a spoon if you want to, but this makes sure that it's all combined well and properly, and you can really make sure that there's going to be flavor packed into every single bite. Ground chicken does have a fair bit of moisture to it, and when we cook these meatballs, you're going to see that some of the liquid comes out in the pan. This is why we're going to use a sheet pan versus a cookie sheet. Sheet pans have raised sides on them. Cookie sheets are often just a flat sheet. Invest in some sheet pans. I'll drop some links below. They're going to make your cooking life so much easier. I'm also going to line my sheet pan with parchment paper. Parchment paper, not wax paper. Parchment paper is a silicone covered paper that nothing sticks to, and it makes cleaning up so much easier. I'll pop a link to parchment paper below too. Get some parchment paper. It is going to make things so much easier for you. All right, so here we go. I've got my mixture. I've got my sheet pan with raised sides. See, there's about ½ an inch, ¾ of an inch of a lip on there. That's gonna keep all the juices from running out and making a mess. Now, I'm gonna use a spoon to help me make my meatballs, just so that I can help get them just about the right size. So I'm taking a good spoonful, that's maybe 2 tablespoons or so. Slide it off the spoon, form it into a round ball, and down she goes. I'm just gonna keep on going, doing these until my sheet pan is lined up. I don't want them touching, but they don't have to be miles apart either. They're not going to expand. They're going to shrink some as they give off some water. But what we don't want to do is steam them. We're going to bake them in the oven. And if we overcrowded our pan, we would just steam them. But we're going to leave a little bit of room between them. I got about 4 across so that they bake up nicely. So bear with me while I get these all rolled up and on my sheet pan. And that's it. I'm down to one last one. I'm gonna make a little bit of room for them here. So I got 25 meatballs. Out of that, 2 pounds of meat plus all the goodies that we added into it. I'm also gonna pop this into the oven. We're gonna cook them at 375 for about 20-25 minutes. You wanna make sure that chicken hits an internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit for it to be safe to consume. So have a meat thermometer handy. Invest in a digital thermometer. Love my digital meat thermometers. I'll pop a link to my favorite one below. Well, here we are. I had my tasty meatballs cooking at 375 in the oven. Like I said, they took about 20-25 minutes. A lot of it's going to depend on how cold the meat was when you started working with it, how big you made your meatballs, and so on. So make sure you've got a digital thermometer that you can use to check the internal temperature of the meatballs so that you know when they're done. You don't want to mess around eating raw chicken. Nuh-uh. And of course, chicken is edible at 165 degrees Fahrenheit, and the easiest way to check that and the most accurate way to check it is on a digital meat thermometer. So let's check one. You can see the bits of spinach in there. I can see little bits of the red bell pepper that have cooked down nicely. I can see little bits of shallot in there and the feta cheese as well. I've got some tzatziki here for dipping. You can see how to make this tzatziki dip in another video. I'll include the link down below. Everything's down below, isn't it? These pair so nicely together. I can't wait to try it. They're moist, tender, so gosh darn flavorful. I can taste the bit of garlic in there. I can taste the herbs, and the chicken is so nice and tender and juicy. The printed recipe is down below. I'd love it if you would subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of these recipes. Again, I'm Chef Jen from KetoCookingWins.com, and thanks for joining me today as I showed you how to make Greek meatballs. Come on back soon.